Have you been searching all over YouTube for that very special skill set or certification that's going to help you finally make six figures in tech? Or maybe you've been chasing certifications and boot camps and everything else, and something just feels like it's missing. Well, in this video, I'm going to help you find out what that missing thing is. Because believe it or not, it has absolutely nothing to do with skills and training and could be everything to do with your childhood. And so in this very special video, we're going to talk about the unseen effects of childhood trauma and how it can limit your potential earnings in tech. And I'm not just going to be talking about this for myself. I have with me Will Clewis, special guest, our own mindset whisperer that is responsible for the transformation of hundreds of our clients, as well as hundreds of thousands of sales professionals around the world, leading them to make millions of dollars in sales, Mr. Will Clewis.
Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? Good to be here, man.
Hey, man. Glad to have you. Glad to have you.
Yes, sir.
Guys, this is going to be a phenomenal and powerful episode that you do not want to miss. But first of all, just in case this is your first time tuning in, if you don't know who I am, I'm Will Clewis. I'm an internationally recognized cybersecurity expert, and I help IT guys upgrade their jobs into a six-figure cybersecurity career. And if you want to follow me on this journey, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and stay plugged in so that you are notified every time I drop new content guaranteed to help you take your career to six figures and beyond. Y'all ready for this? Let's go. Guys, if y'all didn't know, me and my wife, we founded Will Clewis Cybersecurity Training Academy, where we help IT guys learn the skills to make the transformation to become high-paid specialists. But before we ever start any training, we actually work on the mindset first. Yeah. And so we actually developed something called the authority mindset. Trademark, so you cannot steal it. It's trademark. You got to protect your assets. Business 101. And the authority mindset is really one of the things that we saw really just revolutionize our students' lives and their journeys. That's what we want to talk about today, like sort of the origin of that and what you can do right now to sort of get over the hump of that inadequate feeling that you might feel.
Yeah, for sure. One of the things that I always tell people, right, is that success in life and in your career is 90% mental and 10% skill. But it's funny how 90% of people only focus on the skill and they ignore the mindset. And as a result, they always find themselves in this constant struggle of procrastination, not feeling good enough, and they just don't know how to break out of it. So in this video, like, we're going to get really deep for you guys.
Yep.
And show you how this all works, how your mind controls it all. And then what you need to do to overcome those issues so you can actually scale to that six-figure career in tech.
I love it. So let me put a disclaimer out there real quick. So, we're a couple minutes into this video and you're probably watching it. So it's like, I don't have a mindset issue. Yeah, you do. And let me let you know how I know, because you watching this video are probably the same person that commented on my other videos. Well, what happens if they say that I need this skill? Or what happens if they ask for this certification? Or what happens, and you what if people. This is for you. And this is why, honestly, those comments, I don't respond, because I don't live in that world anymore. And if you finish watching this video and do what we tell you to do, you won't be living in that world either. So where do you want to jump in at?
Let's start with how everyone creates their own reality. All right, so I want you guys to think about this scenario. And Boyd, I'll ask you this question. Have you ever had this thought like, man, I really want to buy a new car?
Yep.
And you had a specific car in mind, like a Tesla. And once you got up that idea, like, yes, I want a Tesla, what did you see everywhere you drove?
Man, I saw Teslas everywhere. And because of that, there was like, what I noticed was there was a lot of red ones. So I was like, specifically, I'm not getting a red Tesla and I'm not getting a Model 3 because I saw those everywhere.
Right. So what happens is when you focus on something, you bring it into your reality, right? So now it's gonna be all that you see, like you spot them everywhere. I remember a time last year when I was gonna buy a box truck to start a box trucking company, like literally everywhere that I drove, I saw a box truck everywhere. So we bring these things into our existence when we focus on them. Now here's the thing. You have, man, this is gonna be deep.
They're ready for it. They're ready for it. All right, guys, so what I think is appropriate is Story time. Okay, so I gotta tell y'all a really important story, because if this is going to hit home, you need to understand where I've come from. And y'all have heard me say this time and time again. I only talk about and teach what I know. If I haven't been there, I haven't experienced, I will not advise you on it, because that's not what a good consultant does. So back in about 2016, right, I was offered a job on the spot at the world's largest airline, American Airlines. They offered me a job for senior security architect for the entire organization. But I want you to understand, because I know you're probably thinking like, wow, that's really cool. That was really cool. I was freaking terrified. So you got to understand my career progression. I went from help desk, doing tech support, doing some small security work at a software company that had 2 offices and 3,000 people, all right? And I'm doing this for like 3 years. The next career progression is being the main senior security architect, a global company with 297 airports, 120,000 employees, and I'm going to be the person making decisions about credit card data security, securing payment applications like AA.com, and Admiral clubs and ticket sales. It was doubling my salary, this career transition. With all those things that were coming, I was freaking terrified. So much so that I almost did not accept the job.
Wow. When you say you were terrified, like what thoughts were going through your mind at that time?
So first of all, it was like, I don't have enough experience for this.
Okay.
I am inadequate. And then I'm too young. I was 25 years old. And most of the people that were at American Airlines had been working at American Airlines for 25 years. Being real, man, being a black man. So I'm a 25-year-old black man with only a high school diploma that's put in the position of authority to tell people what to do. I was not mentally ready for it. And I was going to decline the job offer. But fortunately, I had you and a good wife in my corner that was like, yo, we've been watching you. We've been watching the way you've been handling business, the way you've been building the skills. Like, you deserve this. And so I did it because their belief in me, not my own belief. I was inadequate. But I want y'all to understand this. So that job at American Airlines was $150,000 with flight benefits. But learning what I learned on the job there from a business skill standpoint, a consulting standpoint, allowed me to go become a security consultant where I made over 200K, and then eventually gave me the skills to be able to start Will Clewis Cybersecurity, which is a firm that's generating more than $10 million a year. If I don't take that opportunity at American Airlines, I'm not sitting here on this YouTube channel talking to you guys. I've been seeing a lot of comments, guys. Boyd is not making millions on YouTube. I do this because I love you. It's a way to get back. We make millions by consulting.
So guys, like his story, and thank you for sharing that, is super powerful. And I want you to think about how many opportunities you missed out on because of fear of failure, feeling inadequate, feeling like you're not good enough. And like we said in the beginning of this video, success in life, your trajectory is 90% mental and emotional and 10% skill. The biggest enemy to your success is unresolved childhood trauma. All right, because nobody comes into the world feeling like they're not good enough.
Yep.
Nobody comes into the world afraid of failure. All right, these are things that we learn through experience.
Exactly.
Disclaimer. Everybody goes through this, all right? This is not just black people or people from a certain side of the train tracks. This is everybody. Everybody has some type of childhood trauma. But most people don't realize that it's there and it's affecting everything that they do. If you don't mind, I'll share like kind of my story with that and how it almost put me out of business.
Yeah.
And this is how I came to understand all of the stuff that I do now about the mind and about performance. I was in business making more money than I had ever made before at the time. Prior to going into business, I was a 7th grade history teacher and absolutely hated it, right? I enjoyed working with the kids, but I wasn't making enough money and I didn't see my family, so I was searching for a way out. So I started a business went good, and eventually I was able to quit that job and go into business full time. So now I'm making all this money and I have everything that I prayed and asked God for, but I was miserable. I was giving the money away, overpaying employees because I didn't feel good enough to deserve it. I was angry because I couldn't keep it. So I'm like, man, I just need more skills. I need more strategies. When the reality was that wasn't the problem. The problem was not feeling good enough. And then I started to look, it's like, where else had this been showing up in my life? Where I traced it back to the past of me being in college. In college, I was an All-American linebacker, NFL draft prospect. I had NFL scouts coming to pull me out of class, so my dream of going pro was about to become real. But deep down inside, I never felt good enough to play pro. With all the success that I was having, I never felt like I was good enough. I came from a small school. You know, I'm just a small guy. How could I succeed there? So when draft day came and I was supposed to get picked up, I didn't get a phone call. All the contact that I had with the NFL scouts ceased immediately with no explanation.
Wow.
Again, my belief, not good enough, is being justified. So then I traced it all the way back to the beginning of my life, and I realized the root cause of my problems. When me and Boyd were younger, our dad lost his job, and our dad was a trash driver. So he decided that it was best for us to make some money by dumpster diving. We would drive around and we would jump in trash cans and find things that people thought had no value that we could still sell and make some money so we could eat for the day. And while we were in that trash can and while I was in there, I was like, oh my gosh, this is miserable.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm ashamed. I feel like everybody in school is looking at me and laughing at me. I felt dirty, as you can imagine. Being in the trash can is stinky, it's disgusting. And I was angry, like I felt like I wasn't good enough for a normal life. And even when I got out of that trash can, those feelings stayed with me. Whew. I went from a kid that would stand up in front of the class and speak with no reservation to hiding in the back. I went from making really good grades to not making good grades. At the time, I didn't understand it, but that is where it all started for me.
Yep.
So that's what happened, and then there was something I found to change it. So here's the thing, guys. The mind is a powerful tool, and it wants to avoid anything that could harm you.
Man.
All right? So it doesn't have to be a physical threat. For instance, we're sitting here making this video. If somebody busts in this room with a gun and says, Boyd, Will, give me everything you got, the last thing we're thinking about is finishing this video, right?
Exactly.
We're trying to get to safety, so we're trying to figure out how we need to address this threat. Do we need to run? Do we need to fight this person? Do we freeze up? That's how our mind responds to threats. But your mind doesn't know the difference between somebody breaking in the room with a gun and you being stressed out and overwhelmed because you're not making enough money at work.
Man, that fight or flight.
It kicks in the same exact way. So the trick is you have to take all of the negative experiences that you've been through in life and disarm them. Because as long as you have a viewpoint that this is negative, it should have never happened to me, your mind is gonna want to avoid that moving forward in the future. And here's the thing about life that they don't teach us. There's nothing one-sided in this world.
Nothing. Oh, this right here is about to be good.
Have you ever seen a one-sided dollar bill?
No.
Have you ever seen a one-sided coin?
Never.
Have you ever seen a one-sided piece of bread?
Nope.
It does not exist. There is polarity in everything, meaning that if there's a left, it must be a right. If there is an in, it must be an out.
Yep.
So everything that you've been through in your life that you consider to be bad and you wished it never happened to you, there's also a blessing and a gift inside of it.
Yes.
There's good in it.
Yep.
No matter how traumatic the event might be. In the moment you can find the truth in it. And the truth meaning how it served you, how it helped you grow. The moment you can find the truth in it is the moment it will set you free.
Yes.
That's how it works.
So guys, just to give y'all some context and how this works, I'm gonna give y'all like one of the examples. Before I started Baxter Clewis Cybersecurity, like things weren't going well. Actually, not before I started. When I first started, things weren't going well. I believed I had like a marketing and sales problem because business wasn't coming in. So me and Will, we went through the process and we looked at this idea of polarity, right? Where both sides of the coin exist. And he had me write down some of the most painful experiences as it pertained to my career. And one of the things that I wrote down was how pissed off I was. I told you guys at the beginning of this video that I got hired by American Airlines as a senior security architect in 2016. But what I didn't tell y'all is that I interviewed at American Airlines in 2014 to become a vulnerability management specialist. I had all the certifications, I had the experience, and they did not hire me. And that destroyed my confidence, completely destroyed my confidence. And so what Will had me do was go through this process and reevaluate that. You know, instead of me looking at that situation like, man, they devalued me, I didn't get this opportunity. what that did was that allowed me to spend more time training and honing my craft and diving deeper into the framework that ultimately changed my life. Not only did it change my career, but it transformed my family's life because the PCI DSS standard and my understanding allowed me to create generational wealth for my family. And if they would have hired me in that vulnerability management position, I would have never experienced any of this. And so I had to go back and tell myself a new story. So it's no longer regret. It is thank you for not hiring me.
So powerful, man. This is the key to massive success in life. In order to create a better future, you must go back and create a better past.
Facts.
Now, you cannot change what happened, but you can change how you perceive what happened. Just like Boyd said. So going back to my story that I illustrated, the thing that helped me find the good in that trash can experience that I went through was now I understand that there's a world full of people that are carrying their trash to their career, to work, inside of their marriage, into their parenthood, right? Into their community, into their church. They're carrying their trash everywhere and they don't know it. But I'm really good at spotting value in what people consider to be trash. When we were kids, like going through that dumpster diving experience was just like a training camp for me to get really good at the gift God created me to do. Mm-hmm. So once I realized that, man, all of this was serving me the entire time, the pain and the anger and the not feeling good enough about that stuff went away.
Yeah.
And all that was left was, thank you, God. Thank you so much for that. And my career and my life now is based around using that gift to serve other people.
It's phenomenal. And so one of the things that I encourage you guys, like if you are dealing with those feelings of being inadequate, uncertainty, always questioning yourself, and do you deserve things, then you need to go back and visit where that came from. And I definitely recommend, enlisting the services of a counselor. But especially in the Black community, man, counseling is frowned upon, but counseling is next level. Yeah. It is powerful because you need somebody that is skilled to ask you the right questions and to help you make sense of your thoughts. If you want to build a better future, you have to go back and repair the past and tell yourself a new story where you're not the victim.
Yeah, there's 3 levels of consciousness in life. The first level is things happened to me. Mm-hmm. They did this to me. They didn't call me back when I sent in my resume.
Yep.
They didn't give me the promotion.
Yep.
They left me and broke my heart. Victim consciousness.
Yep.
Most people live there. The second one is life happens by me. Like I make things happen. I started this business, right? I succeeded on my own. Some people get to that point, but the level of consciousness that you want to aspire to get to, take notes on what I'm about to say. This is a game changer. Through me consciousness. So everything in this world is an inside out process. Mm-hmm. You've never seen a baby miraculously appear and then be placed in its mother's belly, right?
Right.
It doesn't happen. We all have came from inside out of our mothers. You've never seen a person walk up to a tree and put the fruit on the tree, have you?
Nope.
The fruit comes from out of the tree.
Yep.
That is the process of creation. So what I'm saying is the promotion that you seek, the advancement in your career, the money, the happiness is not out there, guys. It has to come out of you. Whatever you feel is missing in your life right now is the very thing that you are not giving away. Mm-hmm. For example, if you want to make more money at work, then you have to let more value come out of you.
Exactly.
You get paid for the value, and every single one of you listening to our voices, you have immense value.
Yep. You got to realize it though.
It doesn't matter your degrees, your level of education, where you come from, how well you speak. I stutter like crazy, but I don't care. You have value because you are.
Yep.
And once you start to understand that and you let it out of you, you will be rewarded monetarily for the value that you're giving away. Life comes out of you. So that's the level of consciousness that you want to arrive at is, man, this is all happening through me. So the more I can get congruent, get my thoughts and my emotions and my actions congruent with what I want, the faster that stuff starts to show up for you.
Man, that's good. That's good, guys. Y'all have got to get the mind right because your mind is going to give you everything that you desire, whether that be positive or negative. Because let's be real about it. People come to my channel because they want to learn skills or insights to grow their career.
Yeah.
But oftentimes when the opportunity presents itself, they end up self-sabotaging themselves. You go to the interview unprepared, self-sabotage. You don't ask the right questions in the interview, self-sabotage. You don't complete the full resume, self-sabotage. You don't follow the directions, because ultimately that's going to lead you back to what you were thinking in the first place, that you're not good enough to get the job.
And then it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yep.
Just like Boyd said in 2014, when the opportunity came to interview, I can't do it. I'm not good enough. Well, he got what he thought was true.
Yep.
Right? This happens to all of us. All right. So what I want to do is give them the actual formula to overcome these childhood traumas, and so they can move forward and create the life that they want.
Let's do that. Before you do that, I'm glad you mentioned something, because that just caught my attention, something I didn't miss. In 2014, I did not feel adequate for the position I interviewed. Even though I had the certifications, I still had that doubt. I've carried the baggage of being the only person in my family without a college degree. And I tried school and I fell out repeatedly. I'm just not that guy.
Yeah.
But when I interviewed in 2016 for that position as a senior security architect, they offered me on the spot because I was confident. I knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
Like, I brought that and they felt it.
Yeah.
Because normally they wait a week or so before they call. I left the room with the job.
Yeah.
And I expected it. I still wasn't ready to do it though, but I expected. Okay, you got the formula now.
All right, here's the formula. And I want you guys to take notes on this. Come back to this video and watch it 1,000 times and implement. So the first step is you're gonna say what happened. All right. So for an example, if one of the dominant energies you feel is like, man, I just don't feel good enough to make 6 figures in tech, then you need to trace that not good enough feeling back to when it first started showing up for you, like the exact day. So maybe it was, you had a birthday and your parents forgot you didn't have a cake. Like we never had birthday parties. It's another thing that we didn't talk about until we were adults. So maybe it was that you had a birthday party and your parents forgot there was no cake and it just made you feel very inadequate. Whatever it is for you, clearly say what happened. That's step 1. Step 2, why is that positive? All right. And remember, you want to take it from being negatively charged to neutral, where it's not bad and it's not good. It's just an event. So what's the good in it? Step 3 is, what wisdom did you gain from going through this experience? And I want you to understand that everything in life happens for you, not to you. Everything happens to make you stronger, to make you wiser, to make you better. And when you see through that lens, you become an unstoppable force. And then question number 4 is, how are you going to apply that wisdom moving forward? Mm-hmm. And here's the beautiful thing about life. We think we keep secrets. We think we keep secrets, but everything is energy, guys. So if you have this energy attached to you that you're not good enough, that you're not competent in what you're interviewing for, you don't have to go in and say it.
No.
The people that are interviewing you are going to sense that.
Man, their body language will give it all away.
And they're going to tell you, thank you for your time. We'll get back to you.
And never will.
And they never will. So it's your responsibility to be real about this. Like, so many of us don't want to tell the truth because we might feel embarrassed or judged, but we all go through this stuff. So just be real about where you are. Get this negative energy off of you. So all that's left is the real you, which is perfect, whole, and complete, but still a work in progress. All right. There's nothing wrong with you guys.
Nothing.
That's how this works.
Man, that was fire.
Straight fire.
Hope y'all got plenty of value from that. So what else you got?
So if you are an IT professional and you're looking to upgrade your job into a 6-figure career, remember these words: mindset matters most. All right. Your success is going to be 90% mental and 10% strategy. So you need to devote as much time to working through those childhood traumas as you do with boot camps, certifications, and anything else that you're trying to learn in order to advance your career. And for those of you that want a straight line process to doing that, I have a 30-day unlimited mind challenge that I'm putting on just for you guys, where in 30 days, I'm gonna work with you one-on-one, and we're gonna go step by step through the process I created called RCA that's gonna identify those unresolved childhood traumas and eliminate them. So all that's left is the clear, confident, focused, and productive you. And imagine how your life is gonna improve when you show up to an interview fully certain in who you are, right? When you show up as a parent, fully certain, fully confident, fully present, it changes the game. So if you want to be a part of that, there's a link right below this video, which is willclewis.com. Click that. All the information will be there, and I will see you on the other side.
Were you aware that carrying childhood trauma was actually affecting you? Did you have any revelations watching this video? Let us know down in the comments because we want to hear from you. And remember, be sure to like the channel, subscribe so that you're notified whenever I drop new videos guaranteed to help you take your career to 6 figures and beyond. And that's it for this one, guys. I'll see you on the next one.